I drove from Surrey, BC to Orlando, Florida to my dream job, and this was my third day. I woke up around 6 a.m. and started packing up and getting ready for another 8 hours of driving. My car was packed with my belongings for 1 year, so for my entire 10-day trip, this was a chore that I did do every check-in and check-out, and it was no small feat. Although there was no breakfast included in my stay, I pre-planned where I would be picking up my coffee and my breakfast this morning, which meant I had 2 less things to think about. My first stop was at Impress Coffee in Pocatello, where I ordered the Mexican mocha, and to this day, I still dream about this coffee. It is exactly like something you taste in Mexico. If you live in Pocatello, you gotta check it out. I then went to Jumbo's Cafe, where the portion sizes were indeed jumbo, but I didn't have time to dine in, so I ordered my omelette to go. The only thing I didn't love about this omelette was the American cheese. On this day, I drove from Pocatello, Idaho to Page, Arizona. However, as I looked at my route on Google Maps, I noticed I had a location hearted in Salt Lake City, Utah. As I zoomed in, I realized it was none other than East High Secondary School, which served as a filming location for the High School Musical franchise. My playlist for the next 2.5 hours was clear. I started singing High School Musical front to back. I was out of my mind excited to see the real location of a movie franchise that really started my love for musical theater as a young child. I got to the school and unfortunately was unable to enter as they were waxing the floors. Can you believe my luck? They were literally opening the next day for tours and I missed it. I could not stay until the next day as I had a hotel room in Page waiting for me, so I continued on my journey. I stopped at the Creamery in Beaver, Utah, where I originally planned to order a grilled cheese, but instead I chose to finish the rest of my omelet from breakfast, which I maybe shouldn't have done because I was risking food poisoning at this point, but my abuelita leaves food cold on the stove all day and somehow survives after eating it, so I thought I should be fine. I started driving again, and the closer I got to Page, the brighter the rocks got. I ended up stopping at this Shell gas station upon my arrival to Page around 4 p.m. because I saw on TikTok that there was this free version of Antelope Canyons called Biddy the Arch. So I got out of my car and walked over, and you guys, there was a heat wave in Page, and it was hotter than the devil's butt crack. I just really wanted to say that. However, I did not turn back because I will do almost anything for a good Instagram pic. I walked towards Biddy the Arch, and there was a bunch of people taking pictures, so I decided I would walk over to the Page Shores Amphitheater, which is not far away, but it was at this point my phone overheated, and I could not film any more footage. On my way back to my car, I almost didn't make it back. My vision started blurring, I felt like I was gonna puke, and I kept having to take breaks because my legs were going to give out from under me. My last break spot was about 50 feet from my car, and I was so weak I had to sit there for 20 minutes before I felt like I could brave the walk back. My dad happened to FaceTime me at the worst moment when I was literally lying on the ground, and I think I scared him because he did not hang up until I got back into my car. I ended up getting in my travel lodge safely, where I spent multiple hours inside air conditioning, drinking water until the sun set, and I felt safe to leave my room. I left my room around 7 p.m. for some geocaching and for dinner. For dinner, I headed to Bird Box, which had really good Google reviews, and when I got inside, I noticed multiple TripAdvisor awards, and after spending 2 days in Page, I realized why. I ordered their chicken box with a thigh and leg, which came with a side of fries. I didn't have much of an appetite, so I took a lot of it back to the mini fridge in my hotel room. The next day, I would be visiting the coveted Antelope Canyons. If you're new here, follow along to see the rest of my road trip and my experience as a Canadian Disney cast member.